we all marry for money. I've been looking at the news that has been trending on social media about the Moroccan sports person who went to court and whatnot. Him and his wife are getting a divorce, and the court has said he doesn't own any property, and therefore, his wife will not get anything, basically, as far as the court settlement goes, or something to that effect. I haven't read the full story, but I've seen it trending a lot on social media. And I thought, it's Money Friday. Let me make a quick video about the lessons we can learn from that situation, especially because this platform tries to cater to people who are in their 30s and specifically women. So, like I had opened, we all marry for money. Whether this is immediate money or future money, we all marry for money. No one gets into marriage thinking, it would be nice to stay broke with this guy, or it would be nice to stay broke with this girl. It doesn't work like that. We all get married probably thinking in these terms. You know what? I could have a great life with this person. It would be nice for us to experience this or that. And those experiences cost money. So whether you're thinking we're going to get married and have Bill Gates, Oprah kind of money, or we would just like decent jobs to afford us a comfortable life, we're all marrying for money in that sense. It may not be the primary reason, right? We're looking for companionship, to procreate, to raise a godly seed for God and for the kingdom, but ultimately to take kids to school costs money. So money is a very important factor in a union. So no one should demonize anyone for thinking about marrying someone and thinking about their financial status, whether it's current or potential, or what they would like to do. So in a sense, we all marry for money. So what are some of the lessons we can learn from this? So number one, marry mature. Okay, the first thing I say is marry mature, because I noticed from the news that I have been seeing that there's a 12-year gap between the couple, with the woman being older. So the boy is 24, the woman is 36. And I am pro couples like that, where the woman is older than the man, but with the exception that the man must be mature, right? Or mature, however you say it, because things like this count. So if he was getting married at the age of 20, I'm not sure I can vie for his maturity then, but all I'm saying is, when you're marry someone who is mature, age is not a factor. I have met men who are in their 30s and act 15. The same is true for women, but even though it's more common on the other side with the other gender. So I say marry mature, because if he's 20, you must be wanting to check his level of maturity. Just because a man says he's ready to get married, it's not a sign of maturity. He might be wanting to escape his mother or home, but it doesn't mean that he is mature. Secondly, talk about finances. Okay, a lot of the time in relationships, women, men, in relationships, you're talking about, I love you, let's go to this date, where we're going to chill, let's go on holiday, let's do one-on-one. But if you are dating to marry, which is something I encourage, please date to marry, don't just date to chill. If you're dating to marry, talk about how finances will move, how will you be transparent. And I encourage a joint account, or even if you decide you don't have a joint account, at least there should be room for access. When money comes, when it goes, how it goes, why it goes. That's so important. So talk about finances. What are the things? You won't get it right before the marriage, or have everything you need to know in there, right there. But by all means, can we have that in place? Know where the money is going. Talk about how you're going to be transparent, if you're going to be transparent, because that is going to be your life. And also, if you're marrying someone who comes from a background where they didn't really have money, and you see that they're starting to earn a bit more, a lot of the times people who come into money that never saw it tend to, it's not all the time, but many times, people who didn't have money, who land into money in the early days, tend to be either very scared that they will lose the money, and they either hoard, or a situation like what we're seeing now where they're like, oh, you want to take away my money. And I only say this because the woman, whatever, I forget his name, the sports person was married to, apparently is a Spanish actor, and she's very famous, popular in her country, so I'm assuming she makes her own. So, and I'm not also ruling out that, you know, he may have seen signs that she was there for his money. I'm not ruling that out. I'm just saying, when someone didn't have money and they come into money, and I'm not saying that's his story, I'm just using that as an illustration. If he came from a background like that, there are a lot of the times people who haven't had money, or who had it rough, when they have money, suddenly they're just scared that they will lose it, which is why principles of money must be learned, and it's important to learn this, understanding that money comes and goes, and that it doesn't grow from hoarding, but rather keeping your arm or your palm open so that it keeps flowing. So you just have to be careful when you married someone who has a from rags to riches story. Sometimes they tend to hoard money because they're dealing with the fear that they might lose that money. Okay, so what do you do when money starts to come in? Very, very important to make investments that are secure. Don't just eat the money and enjoy hanging out and what. Invest in secure investments and ensure that these investments are in your name. So if you buy, for as an example, bonds, you can buy some bonds in your name, buy some bonds in their names. You can buy some stocks shares for your children, so that in the event of divorce, or we can't run away from it, it happens, and it happens a lot, or in the event of a death, you never know how family turns out, or like we have seen, you never know how money moved around. So in the face of transparency, you want to ensure that money is secure, and you have some investments that you can lean on. So, and just make some of your own. Like I have said, this woman is an actress, probably makes some of her own money. So it's just important to make your own money as well, even though your money and his money are one. In the event of situations like this, it's nice to have somewhere you can fall back on. I mean, even in the Bible, when you look at the Shunammite woman, she had her own. The Proverbs 31 woman had her own. Priscilla and Aquila was working too. There was Lydia, who was also a rich woman. We see Deborah, who is a judge. So just ladies, as you can see how happy the men are about this situation, have your own. It's very important. Number 3, if you don't trust a person, you can't be vulnerable with them, you can't talk to this person openly, you can't share your finances and things with this person, don't marry them. Because what's happening is, we see people who are excited about a ring, about weddings and whatnot, they get married and worse still, have children, and then now they bleed out on these children because they've brought innocent human beings into a toxic situation, and it's not fair on the children. So don't go get married, worse, have children just because of ulunkombwa. You've seen that people are getting married, so even me, let me get married, or I have feelings for this person, so let me marry them. No, think about what is their head around money. Are they mature enough for marriage? Do they even understand the oneness of marriage? And whether it's a Christian marriage or a non-Christian marriage, marriage makes two people one, whether we like it or not. So just chill on the marriage thing, and let's relax and avoid such situations. I'm out.